Hi everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be making Hindbærsnitter. These are basically raspberry bars. You have a layer of short crust pastry, raspberry jam. A lot of times you will see it with another full layer of short crust pastry on the top and then icing. But this version we're making today has a lattice on top of the raspberry jam instead. Let's get started.
The first thing I'm doing today is making homemade jam. So you're going to need raspberries, sugar, a bit of lemon juice, and a pinch of salt. And you're just combining all of those ingredients in a small pot on the stove. You can definitely use store-bought jam for this instead. Then we're going to turn on the burner on medium-low heat and just stir to combine everything. The raspberries should start to release some of their liquid, and you just want to make sure that you're stirring constantly until it's thick enough to see the bottom of the pan. And then I'm just transferring this to a bowl, wrapping it up with some cling film and putting it in the fridge to fully set. Next, we're going to make the short crust pastry. I'm using a food processor today, but you can definitely do this by hand as well. We're adding in powdered sugar, flour, and a little bit of salt to a food processor, and then just pulsing just to combine the dry ingredients. Next, we're going to take a lot of butter, put that in, and you want to pulse it until the mixture resembles sand, like this. Next, we're adding in 1 whole egg and a little bit of vanilla bean paste. You can also use vanilla extract, and then I'm just pulsing it until the dough comes together. Then I'm just going to transfer the dough to cling film. It's totally fine if it's a little bit crumbly. Wrapping that up, and then we're going to put it in the fridge to chill for at least 30 minutes.
Now that our pastry has cooled, we're going to roll out a large rectangle, put the raspberry filling on top of it, and then create a lattice over the top. Let's roll it out.
For the base of the Hindbærsnitter, I'm taking 2/3 of the dough and just setting aside that last third for the lattice. And I'm going to roll out the base until it is around 1/4 inch thick and an even rectangle. Once I've gotten that rough rectangular shape, I'm just trimming off the edges to make it actually look like a rectangle. And then to transfer the pastry over to your baking sheet, I like to flour the top of the dough really well along with the rolling pin, and then roll the dough onto the rolling pin, transfer it over the baking sheet, and then unroll the rolling pin. And that way you transfer the dough with minimal breakage. Before I start on the lattice, I'm going to preheat my oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Now it's time for probably the hardest part of this recipe, which is the lattice top. To start, I'm just rolling out the remaining third of the dough into a rough rectangular shape and then cutting strips that are about 3/4 inch to 1 inch wide. I'm not so concerned about the length of all of these right now. I just want to make sure I have enough for 4 long strips and 6 short strips. I'm taking my cooled raspberry jam and I'm going to spread that evenly over the top of the base of the pastry. Now it's time to build the lattice. So I'm taking 6 strips that I just cut to the width of the base, and then I'm folding back the 2nd, 4th, and 6th strip from the top, laying down 1 long strip. And then what you want to do here, instead of folding those back first and laying down that one, is fold back over the 2nd, 4th, and 6th, and then you can lay down your 2nd long strip and then fold over the 1st, 3rd, and 5th. And then you're kind of repeating the same process. 2nd, 4th, and 6th strips. The short strips are folded back. You're placing down your long strip, and then you're folding back the 1st, 3rd, and 5th long strip. And then you're putting your last long piece. And then I just like to trim off the edges, do a little pastry surgery if you need to make the strips go all the way to the edge. And if you have extra dough, here's where I just like to make some strips for the edge. I just take the leftovers and roll that out. This is totally optional, but it just cleans up the edge and makes it look all nice. Now we're ready to go in the oven. So this is going to bake for probably around 15 minutes. What you're looking for is the edges to just start getting golden, and that's when you know that the pastry is fully cooked. Once it's done baking, I'm just going to transfer this and wait until it's fully cooled.
Now that the Hindbærsnitter have fully cooled, we're going to slice them.
Really slice these any way you want. I wanted to make about 12 square-ish bars, so I'm just dividing into 4 along the long edge and then 3 on the shorter edge.
Looks really good. As always, let us know if you make these Hindbærsnitter. We would love to hear from you. See you next time. Hi everyone. A layer of short crust paste. Let's. Now that the Hindbærsnitter. Can you leave, please? Can you leave? Thank you. Now that, as always,